And joining us now on the phone is Greg Lambrecht. He's coming to us from Seattle, Washington. Greg is the CEO of a company called Singlepoint Incorporated. The stock symbol is SING. Greg, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Don.
Well, it's been a little while since we last spoke to you. Why don't you tell us again what the company does?
Singlepoint is in the business of text messaging and mobile payments. We allow customers to use their mobile phone and their credit card to do a transaction. And just recently, the company is really going to start to focus on acquisitions, which we've made a couple, and we plan to have a lot more in the works.
Well, speaking of acquisitions, I know that you got into the fantasy sports segment. Of course, with the NFL now being launched, the new season of the NFL, that has just exploded with respect to fantasy sports. Tell us about that part of your business.
Yeah, so we invested in two companies in the fantasy sports, and of course, 75% of the revenues of the business come from the NFL, and that's just started, and everybody's excited, about playing fantasy sports, so we're happy to be involved.
Now, with these acquisitions, what I thought was really interesting, something you talked about on the program previously, is that people who participate in fantasy sports tend to go across several different companies, not just one or two.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously the big two out there, DraftKings and FanDuel, but players are not just playing on those. They're playing on all sites where they think that they can be successful.
Now, I know that you're always on the cusp of what's the latest and what's the hottest. And I saw a press release recently where you're jumping into the arena that's been made very popular by the Pokemon Go game. I mean, the downloads of that thing have been crazy. You're seeing people walk all around cities staring at their phones, trying to catch these characters. Tell us about your entry into that space.
Yeah, so actually that's one of the reasons I'm up in Seattle. We're meeting with our app developers on the Pokemon Go, and it's going very well, and we're just making sure that we have a great product to put out to the market.
Now, your existing technology, is that applicable to Pokemon Go, or do you have to completely refurbish everything?
No, a lot of the stuff that we already have is very applicable. For example, the text messaging, which we're very, very good at, can help to let people know where a Pokemon might be or what restaurant to go afterwards. So a lot of the stuff that we have already done is applicable to this.
Well, I know I got a kick out of it because my 15-year-old daughter for a while was totally into that, and we were going to a particular restaurant. Goes, no, not there. They don't have any good ones there. Let's go to the one across the street. But let's get back to
That's what these apps are about, is simply help people be better at the game. But, as you mentioned earlier, the downloads are pretty astonishing.
It really is. Let's talk about the company. I know that we've been talking about the company going through its audits to get uplisted to the QB. Any progress to report on that?
Yeah, there is. I'm happy to tell everybody that we're on the 5-yard line ready to punch it in, and taken us a long time for various reasons, but we expect to be announcing next week that we filed our Form 10 with the SEC, fully reporting and moving up from the pink sheets to the OTC QB. So we're very excited about that. That's going to open up many doors for investors, not only to invest in our company to help us with the acquisitions we have in place, but also to directly invest in the company, institutional investors, and I think it's going to also open up more market makers for Sing. So, we're doing what we said we're going to do. We're moving up to a higher exchange, and I think of all of our shareholders and new shareholders are going to be very pleased with that progress.
Again, the company is Singlepoint Incorporated, stock symbol SING. Greg, we look forward to hearing more about that. Thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, go Sing, SING.